heart of Orissa's bauxite-rich belt, for women of the Kotiakon tribe, providing their families with food and fuel gets harder each day. Over the last 20 years, vast tracts of forests have been cleared in the state's mineral flush districts, making space for industry, and in the process, severely affecting food availability to tribals. Small animals, roots, tubers and leafy plants which were earlier an integral part of Adivasi diets and provided essential protein and vitamins are disappearing. And supplies of forest produce like gum and honey, which they sold in village markets, are falling, forcing them out of the jungles in search of work. More women are breaking stones and shoveling mud as daily wages. But the back-breaking labor is rarely rewarded with nutritious food. A large number of patients at this primary health center in Raigada district have medical problems associated with chronic hunger.
Nourishment is directly concerned with the employment of the people. So these people, they are not getting any help in the form of employment. Government is giving everything, starting from rice at ₹2 per kg, but with rice they also need something else to cook the food. People, they don't have anything to eat except that ₹2 rice. Supplements always need something for which they are supplements. They are not getting that main thing, which is food. So food is very necessary to survive.
It's one of the reasons why nearly 65 tribal women in every 1,000 in Orissa are anemic. The figure for all Indian women is 52%, which is why many experts believe the National Food Security Bill, which will be introduced in the next session of Parliament, must pay attention to the health of adolescent girls, mothers and children. The government's draft bill, which will provide subsidized food grain, has been drawn up after recommendations from the National Advisory Council, among others.
There's a whole set of responsibilities that the state must fulfill if there is to prevent starvation. So the Act, as we had drafted it in the NEC, looked at the entire life cycle of people. There were the entire set of responsibilities for promoting breastfeeding and supporting mothers, which again is not there. Then we have the ICDS for 3 to 6 as a legal right. But ICDS is again just not simply supplying a meal, which is what the Act has, the Government Act has.
But several of the NAC's recommendations have been ignored.
Maternity entitlements have been withdrawn, the provisions for starvation deaths have been reduced, the provisions for malnourished children, for community kitchens, for destitute feeding, the grievance redressal system, all these things have been either removed or diluted, or the government has retained all the powers to modify the norms, modify the entitlements, and even to determine the sharing of costs between the state and the central governments.
For instance, the provision of maternity benefits of 1,000 rupees to pregnant women and nursing mothers for 6 months has been dropped, while the current legal guarantee of hot-cooked meals at Anganwadis for children between 3 and 6 has been diluted by giving the option of ready-to-eat food. These are entitlements that could help women like Balo from the Dungariakon tribe in the Nyamgiri hills of Orissa to regain the strength she lost after the birth of her son last year. She lives in a remote area and, like the rest of the villagers, survives on subsidized grain and food supplements provided by the public distribution system. When the rations run out, they eat whatever they find.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone, fastest scorecard, special analysis and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.